Mm-mm-mm-mm. I am out of Dutchess. I'm out of Dutchess. But I got one rolled up. But I got one rolled up. Come on, let's get some people in here. This is supposed to be the hot story of the night. 50 Cent mocking his former G Unit artist, Young Buck, once again. This is bad. This is getting bad. 50 Cent re-signed him, and now he's mocking him once again. 50 Cent like dropped him, re-signed him, put him back in the unit. Now he's mocking him once again. I mean, do we not remember the phone call that surfaced? Do we not remember the phone call that surfaced a few years back that 50 basically recorded the whole phone call conversation with Buck? Everybody's got to remember that whole thing when Buck was basically on the phone crying, talking about how he didn't know how to do his finances, how he didn't understand how taxes work. Like, come on. You got to be crazy. You got to be crazy. But I was actually just watching something about a new exclusive I'm about to do. I was just watching a joint for a new exclusive I'm about to do. Buck didn't even really have the money to pay for the G Unit chain. To get the G Unit chain when they first lost the G Unit spinner, the spinner that looks like it's about that big. It's just like this Dedication and Ambition logo. Shout out to Dedication and Ambition for the shirt. Yo, let's get some people in here, man. Let's get some people tapping in because I got an exclusive to drop as well. I got an exclusive to drop as well about Young Buck. Young Buck actually got exposed by a former G Unit member. Buck getting exposed by a former G Unit member for some questionable activity. I think a lot of you guys know about that. But today we're talking about Zach King. What's popping? Thanks for tapping in from Texas. Today we're actually talking about 50 basically laughing off everything happening with Young Buck. It's crazy. You know what I mean? 50 basically putting Buck on blast. Without Dr. Dre and no M, without M, Boo Boo, without him, I would never heard PLK. Chucky Brown tapped in. Chucky, actually, you was tapped in on the Lloyd Banks story earlier, weren't you, bro? Had you seen my exclusive interview with Millie's? I think you was tapped in on that earlier as well. I just wanted to jump on the live, you guys, and talk. You know what I mean? There's a lot going on right now. 50 Cent basically putting Buck on blast once again. Aaron Finney, what's popping, man? Appreciate you tapping in. Um, Basically 50 putting his former artist on blast like crazy right now. If you all go over to 50's Instagram, he's got basically skits up of Young Buck who allegedly just had a crazy altercation with his girlfriend. I think a lot of you who have been following Young Buck's Instagram for the last few days, have you guys in the chat, Larry, Sydney, have you guys been following Buck's Instagram page for the last few days? Young Buck actually has been posting some weird pictures where he was actually, wearing like a cowboy hat and he was wearing like cowboy boots and he's really tapped in with like the Nashville roots. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of looking crazy. He was kind of looking crazy out there, in my opinion. Come on, guys, let's get some more people in here. Everyone that's tapping in, hit that like button. Yeah, Larry, I appreciate you following me here on this joint, man. You know what I mean? I'm trying to put out the best exclusives. You know what I mean? The hottest exclusives on the internet. I'm actually dropping an exclusive interview with I-20 in about 20 minutes. I got my exclusive interview with Millie's out right now. Heavy work, you guys. Heavy work is coming out on my side. I-20 is actually talking about his record called Move Bitch with Ludacris. I know a lot of you guys got to remember that joint. You know what I mean? So I'm going to stay on this live for like the next 20 minutes. Tomorrow, obviously, going to have to do an exclusive Young Buck story. It seems like the people want it. It seems like the people want it. I appreciate everybody tapping in on that Millie's exclusive as well. You like the way that I did it, man. Appreciate that. Free OBH, Lucas. I got another exclusive video with AR Rab dropping. I got an exclusive video with AR Rab dropping in the next few days. AR Rab actually speaking on Eminem. If you guys want to get a little insight as to what Ab and I are going to be talking about, you guys can go check out the record Cassidy featuring ARAB on the Cash album. Cash is Cassidy's fourth album. Um, Dana Watkins, what up? Says it's karma. The same thing he did to DT, holding him back. 50 said, put him on. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Maybe I should hit up DT. I think back in the day when I first got into the game, like around 2008, 2009, I had actually spoke with DT. But you're right. Buck got Buck holding back. DT is kind of similar. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Zach King, my man from Texas, he said he tuned in on the Millie's joint. Well, Zach, Millie's is actually dropping a new album, Blanco Tres. Blanco 3, for anybody who didn't understand that Spanish that I was just speaking. Blanco 3 is dropping at midnight, you guys. It's a official So Raspy Entertainment album. Sydney says Young Buck is always into some. But guys, if you want the exclusive story, hit that like button. We got 50 people in here. I want to see 40 likes. Let's get 40 likes on here, and I'm going to talk about the ex-G Unit member that actually exposed Buck for some of his questionable activity. And he actually explained it to me in interview format. He actually explained it in interview format how he kind of did some detective work. Something light, what's popping with something light. Is that my boy from Something Light on Instagram, or is that my boy from Something Light out of Cali? 67 people up in here, you guys. I want everyone to tap in 15 minutes. 15 minutes, I'm dropping an exclusive interview with I-20, you guys. We're popping on the live tonight. Main Event said, what's poppin', my man, Mikey T. Main Event, what's poppin' is I got a new interview with I-20 dropping in 15 minutes. I-20 is actually detailing, recording the record, Move Bitch, Get Out the Way. That's right, you guys. I-20 detailing, recording the song, Move Bitch, Get Out the Way with Ludacris and Mystical. And he talks about how Shaka Zulu actually was the one who brought the record to him. Pretty crazy. But yeah, I was just saying we dropped what up from Dade County. Sewed Up TV. That's what's up. I appreciate you tuning in from Dade County. You know, I actually used to live in Florida. I lived in Hollywood, Florida, Plantation, Pembroke. I was right in that area. You know what I mean? About 30 minutes, 25 minutes north of South Beach, 40 minutes, something like that. I was always going down to South Beach, though. It was lit, you guys. It was lit. I appreciate everyone tapping in on the live tonight. Let me see what we can do. Let me get this link for the I-20 interview. Let me get the I-20 interview link actually in here so y'all could see it here on the live and y'all could just tap in with it. Of course, they're gonna. All right, guys, hit that like button. Damian Rogers from all the way from the Caribbean. That's lit, man. The Caribbean tuned in. Guys, it should be in the description now. Actually, I put the I-20 interview link in the description because that interview right there, guys, it's gold. It's gold. He's really detailing a lot from Ludacris talking about the Word of Mouth album to recording his own album, self-explanatory, based off of Move Bitch, Get Out the Way. 80 people tuned in here. You know what, guys? It's definitely going to be an exclusive video that I release tomorrow about Young Buck getting exposed by a former G Unit member. Former G Unit member actually exposing Young Buck for some questionable activity on his Instagram account. Just to give y'all a little bit of you know what I mean? A little bit of extra insight into what's going on into the video that I'm going to release tomorrow. Also, I want to give a major shout out to Ooey Magazine. If anybody in here wants to tap in with a rising magazine, a magazine that's on the come up, you know what I mean? I always say you want to get in contact with people when they're on the rise. And that's going to be the same thing you want to do with Ooey Magazine. Get in tune with a magazine on the come up. I'm posting it in the chat right now, you guys. Everyone that wants to tap in with a magazine, you know, if you want to promote yourself, if you want to get your numbers up, if you want to have a platform to put your stuff on, if you want to have a physical magazine, tap in with Ooey Magazine. Liquor Store Talk. Salute to Liquor Store Talk. Hit me up on Instagram. Maybe you could have me on your podcast or something like that. Mikey T, keep doing your thing. Jersey's up in here. Andrew, AP, I appreciate you tapping in from Jersey. Guys, it's crazy. 50 Cent is going in on Young Buck. Can you believe it? Like 50 kicked him out of G Unit. You know what I mean? Exposed him, put out the whole phone call conversation, that whole 15, 20-minute conversation where Buck was crying on the phone and Buck was telling him, I'm sorry, 50. I don't understand. And 50 was like, yo, you Buck, you just need to stay close to me. You just need to stay close to me, Buck. I followed yesterday. He followed back less than 6 minutes. Don't wait till it's too late to support. Yo, Glory God, big facts. Ooey Magazine. I like the way you... Yeah, no dissing on Vlad on my channel. You know what I mean? Vlad has done a lot for the culture. Just to be 100% honest with you guys, Vlad has done a lot for the culture. Damn, Fifth let bro Buck live. Yeah, Fifth actually kind of ended Young Buck's career to me, guys, because after Buck the World, we never heard any more Young Buck material. You know what I mean? After Buck the World, we really didn't get to hear any more Buck material. I mean, I heard Buck pop back onto the scene and say that the Rehab was going to be an album. You know what I mean? Yo, Michael Matthews, chill out on that talk on my channel, bro. Like, on the real. I'm not rolling with that diss talk on my channel. You know what I mean? We are a predominantly positive channel. You know what I mean? We do things from a different nature on this channel. You know what I mean? This is a channel based on respect. I got involved in hip hop for the love of the culture. You know what I mean? Let's not diss somebody who's adding to the culture like DJ Vlad. Let's be respectful in nature. So guys, I was saying that Young Buck's beef with 50, it really all kind of began when Buck wouldn't leave his tour in the South. That's when it really began. Buck was actually touring the South with, Rich Boy from Throw Some D's. They were touring all over the South, but Buck was needed to come to the European tour, the Asian tour. You know what I mean? He was needed to come to the overseas tour with G Unit, and that would have also been when he completed the Terminate on Sight album. It kind of stemmed from a tour because Buck was getting money in the South. He was on tour with the dude Rich Boy, right, from Throw Some D's. And they were touring, and 50 was like, "Nah, we need you on the G Unit tour." And that's why Buck stayed in the South. I think that was a bad business move on Buck's end because Buck was actually at the point where, you know what I mean, he needed to finish that G Unit album. He needed to be heavily featured on the second G Unit album, Terminate on Sight. And we all see what happened. We all saw what happened with the Terminate on Sight album. It was really nothing compared to Beg for Mercy. In the chat, would you guys agree with that? Am I off base saying that? I believe that term TOS didn't really compare to Beg for Mercy, if we're being 100% honest. Josh, thanks. I appreciate that, man. I just got my cut. My dude, Vinny Scissors. He's a cool dude. That's literally what I was just saying, guys. That is literally what I was just saying. If you've been tapped in on Young Buck's channel, if you're tapped in on Young Buck's channel, you see that he's been doing a couple, I think I want to call them photo shoots, you guys. I kind of want to call them photo shoots, what he's been doing. You've been seeing him with he's been wearing the cowboy hat, and he's been wearing the cowboy boots and the flannel shirt, and he's talking to, he wrote a line where he said, he lives in a barn and he grows kush on the farm. I know a lot of you guys probably read that on the gram. So, yeah, let's get 200 people in here, man. Let's get this chat going. Everyone in here, hit that like button. Minnesota, appreciate you for tapping in. Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Yeah, Buck did songs with Ricky, Game. Buck was actually supposed to do a song with Bang'em Smurf. Did you guys see that blog that I dropped last week? He was actually supposed to do a record with Bang'em Smurf. Yep. Nonstop Connection. Nonstopconnection.com in the building. Ooey TV tapping in. Yeah, man, a lot of people in here is tapped in with Ooey Magazine. Florida in this chat. Florida tapped in. HM salute. Yeah, guys, I want y'all to tap in with Ooey Magazine. Like I said earlier, it's a brand. It's a rising brand. Get in tune with a magazine. Get in tune with a physical magazine early on. You know what I mean? Do it the right way. I remember when Hip Hop Weekly magazine was being developed in Florida, and I got the opportunity to work with Hip Hop Weekly magazine. This Ooey magazine, it's a print magazine. I want y'all to tap in. I'm going to put it in the chat right now for anybody who might have missed it. But you know, you're going to be seeing a lot of promotion for that along with all my videos because I'm tapped in with Ooey magazine. It's a rising brand, and that's why I want y'all to tap in with it. Washington Heights. Washington Heights. Tell me where that is actually. Where is Washington Heights? Demetrius. Yeah, salute Demetrius. Tap in with Ooey magazine. NY that is. Okay, NY. Washington Heights. That's what's up. That's what's up. You know, tonight we're in here talking serious. We're in here talking serious because man, 50 is just laughing up a storm at young Buck. I really don't get why he picked Buck back up to actually do the whole G Unit thing if he's going to do this whole thing to him once again. I really don't get it. North Carolina up in here. That's what's up. What's up with Cowboy Buck? That's exactly what I was thinking. What's up with Cowboy Buck is the question. And I think the answer to it, you guys, is I really think that was just a photo shoot. To be 100% honest with you guys, I just think that was a photo shoot. You know what I mean? 50, Interscope, whatever label Buck has been a part of, they've probably had photo shoots for him in the past where he would put on a get up. You know what I mean? Like the military get up that they had worn at one point. You know what I mean? I think that this outfit that he was wearing was more so part of a photo shoot, you guys. And I think Buck just posted some of the pictures on his Instagram just to support that photo shoot. I don't think Buck is really going to that country form of a living. That would be crazy if he was. 50 used Buck, Damian Rogers says. I don't. What did he use him for? Did 50 use Buck to get attention in the South? Because if so, that was a mutual, you know what I mean? That was very mutual. You know, if Buck became one of the most relevant artists from the South when 50 brought a light to his name. You know what I mean? When an East Coast dude brought light to his name. You know what I mean? It was kind of like a match made. It was kind of like a perfect match made. Does 50 ever actually take any L's? Does 50 ever take any L's? I mean, if you guys don't remember that live stream that Trav did a few months ago, when Trav jumped on a live stream and just started going like off the wall crazy, talking about 50 and G Unit and exposing all types of secrets, like how could you not consider that an L for 50 to take when one of his Trav had been rocking with 50 since he was young, you know what I mean? And the guy came online and just totally disparaged his name. 50 been L free since 98. 50 H&M, I think you got to check your dates on that one, man. Mobb Deep on G Unit, they kind of tanked. Young Buck and Banks' second albums both tanked, if we're just being 100% honest. You know what I mean? Some other artists on G Unit never even saw the light of day. If we're talking about Hot Rod, if we're talking, you know what I mean? If we're talking about some of these guys, some artists never saw the light of day on G Unit. The R&B singer named Governor, you know what I mean? Like some people never really even got to release albums on G Unit. Spider Locust, the homie, MOP never actually got to release their album. Billy Danz, I've talked to him over the years a bunch of times. East B Moore, appreciate East B Moore tapping in. Yeah, Josh says Ross spanked 50 musically. I say that a lot, but people will be trying to trash talk me and saying that. I really feel like the Game was the first one who made those cracks in the G Unit empire, and then Rick Ross came and just broke through. You know what I mean? When something's cracked, it's easy to break through. 50 took a L by sending Busta to handle T.I. You know, T.I. T.I. really dismissed that challenge. And that's BS because Busta is always getting dismissed by mainstream hip hop. But Busta is one of the greatest rappers of all time. Hub City Steve, what's poppin'? Lloyd Banks, PLK. Mitchell Bartley, Mikey T, what's good, baby? What's popping, man? You know we're on the live tonight. We're getting this live popping tonight. I've actually got the exclusive interview with I-20 dropping in a few minutes, you guys. New exclusive interview with High 20 is about to be lit. To be honest with you guys, it's a really dope interview. Should I drop it at 7, you guys, or should I push it back 15 minutes? The Waves. He stalled Banks' career. He knew Banks lyrically would blow. Who stalled Banks' career? Josh? I don't think 50 really stalled Banks' career, to be 100% honest with you. I mean, if you're talking about how he made it so Banks' album couldn't really drop in time. If you're talking about how he made it so Banks' album kind of dropped 2 years apart, is that what you're talking about, Josh? He diluted. Yeah, I did read some comments about that, you guys, about 50 actually deleting some of the music that he had dropped with Young Buck. But yeah, if you guys want, all right, we got 45 likes in here. We got 185 people. Guys, if we get 100 likes, if we turn that 45 likes into 100 likes, I will read you the messages that Lloyd Banks personally sent me. I will read you the message that Lloyd Banks personally sent me after I put out a video speaking on him and 50. Prolific was popping, man. Appreciate you tapping in, man. All right, guys, I want 100 likes. I want 50 more likes, and I'm going to read you the messages that Lloyd Banks wrote to me. Exclusive messages from Lloyd Banks to Mikey T. Other than that, guys, we just chilling. Mikey T about to hit the likes, bro. Sanders, I appreciate you. Sanders, I appreciate you for tapping in. Spencer, thanks for tapping in tonight. 50 is successful, but I don't think he belongs on the movie screen. He's not a good actor, 44 said. Interesting take. Interesting take on that. I think 50 is a lot better when it comes to TV. You know what I mean? I love movies. Obviously, Mikey T, the movie star, it's in the name, you guys. So it was great to see 50 start making the transition onto actual film. But I just really didn't personally, like you said, I don't really think it worked out as well. I think Jimmy Iovine had the right insight, and he said 50 TV is going to be where you make it. And he was right. He was right. When are we going to get a G Unit TV series? When are we going to get a G Unit TV series? They could totally take the model from Straight Outta Compton and make a G Unit TV series. 50 Cent is a clown to me. 50's more so a great writer. Prolific. 50's also a great performer, man. There was a time in history when 50 had the most signature hooks. When basically, if you wanted to make a hit song, you would want a 50 Cent hook. Not so much anymore. You know what I mean? Young Thug hooks are 10 times better than 50 Cent hooks. But it was back then, back at that point, when you would have to pay like $250,000 for a 50 Cent hook. He said, Prolific said, I've seen worse acting. Yeah, no, it's not about 50's bad acting. It's not saying 50's a bad actor. Some people just have more of a fit on the TV screen than they do actually on the movie screen. You know, and I didn't really know that until you really see that in certain actors. But guys, if you want to hear these exclusive messages that I got from Lloyd Banks, I'm going to need 100 likes. We only got 67 likes. If we can get 100 likes in here, you guys, I'm going to read my exclusive messages that I got from Lloyd Banks. If not, I'll just save it for another day. 50 needs to start blowing Chronic. Ha, that's great. That's great. Luigi, can Young Buck put those albums that 50 Cent pulled off mainstream? Carlos the Boss. Where's my lighter? Wow, top 5 hooks, huh? Nah, Prolific. That's off the table, bro. I'm sorry, guys. It's off the table. It's off the table now for me to read my messages from Lloyd Banks. Unless we get like 105 likes in like the next 2 minutes. 105 likes in the next 2 minutes. It's 7:01, 7:03. We get like 105 likes. I will read the messages with Banks. And guys, let me just say, these are some crazy messages too that I got from Banks. Mikey T. Greg, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, Greg. I appreciate you, man. You know what I mean? Even appreciate a hater. You know what I mean? Like if you got my name in your mouth, that's awesome because like I'm a kid that came from nothing. You got to understand. You know what I mean? There's nobody from where I come from that's actually popping. You know what I mean? Nobody that even could ever dream of getting involved in the music industry where I come from. That's why people in my area, they love what I'm doing. They're like, I had no idea that you could do what you do, Mikey T, because I wanted to do it and it was a dream that I accomplished. Has Buck got caught with guys again? Ha! MCK, I'm actually going to read some exclusive information tomorrow about young Buck getting exposed by an ex-G Unit member. Probably going to do that tomorrow. Make some more Fat Trell videos. Yeah, you know, Fat Trell, definitely a good dude. Definitely will make some more Fat Trell videos for you. I'll have a Fat Trell video for you next week. Mikey T, what about the BMF movie? Detroit in the building, Sanders. The BMF movie. I'm interested in seeing the BMF TV show that 50's producing, all honesty. Yeah, Prolific. That's actually why I jumped on today because it's crazy. It's crazy that 50 is putting up stuff on his Instagram, kind of mimicking Buck getting assaulted by his girlfriend. You know what I mean? It's crazy that 50's putting up stuff like that about Buck getting assaulted by his girlfriend. You know, it's like it makes me wonder, like, they went through their issue many years ago. Buck and 50 went through issues a bunch of years ago. You know what I mean? And then 50 actually re-signed him, and now he's trash talking him again. It's really got me mind boggled. It's like, why did he actually come back and re-sign him? You know what I mean? Why did he do that second partnership with him? I don't really understand it, to be 100% honest with you guys. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Why did 50 sign Young Buck back? Why did he even do that deal with him again? No, I think Buck is good, to be 100% honest with you guys. Like you see Buck is actually doing photo shoots. Buck is doing photo shoots on his joint now. Right now he actually might be in hiding because he's probably if he got hit, from what I understand, if he got hit, he will be going to jail. If dude got hit, he'll actually be going to jail. So like if he actually went to the hospital and he got shot, he'd actually be going to jail because he's probably on probation right now. Young Buck is the best member of G Unit. Correction. Young Buck was the best member of G Unit. Major correction right there. Young Buck was the best member in G Unit. No longer. No. After those first 2 albums, Young Buck's career went. After those first 2 albums, Young Buck's career really didn't go anywhere, to be 100% honest with you guys. I met Fifth one time, and I spoke about it before. Numero uno says 50 re-signed Buck to get his label Buzz back against Rick Ross during that time. 50 used the unit and drop him after it didn't work out and started talking down on him. That's an interesting point that you got right there, numero uno, because that's an interesting point that you got right there because there was actually some interest in Young Buck over at the Maybach Music Camp. Yeah, that's right. Rick Ross and Maybach Music did seemingly show some interest in Young Buck. So you could be right. Ashley Scott, thank you for tuning in. You could be right about that. That Buck was actually signed or re-signed, I should say, to G Unit in order to block him from doing a deal with MMG. But also you could just say that he never even left G Unit to begin with, because we all know the issues that Buck went through actually after he dropped his first two albums. He never released a third album officially. Kentucky Go-Getters in the building. Man, appreciate you tuning in tonight, my dude. Salute. Respect on that, Kentucky Go-Getters. Yo, shoot me some more material, man. Garvin Thomas was popping. Fly Prolific said that he signed him back as a form of control. He want to feel needed, wanted it, etc. Petty ego thing. I'm a Cancer just like 50, so I know how he moves. Everything is chess. I'm actually a Gemini, so that whole sign stuff, I kind of believe in it because it's kind of crazy. Garvin said, I liked your video. Great job. Thanks, man. I appreciate you tuning into these videos that I be dropping. Seemingly, it looks like I'm dropping a video every single day now. You know what I mean? I drop new interviews every day. I just dropped my exclusive interview with Millie's. I have an exclusive interview with I-20. You know, I-20 from the single move, Bitch Get Out the Way. It's dropping at 7:15. Everybody in here, I would appreciate if you guys went and checked out that video. The link is in the description. The link's in the description, guys. I'd really appreciate it if everybody would tap in and check out the premiere of that video. Looks like we're premiering in 6 minutes. Click this link, guys. I-20. Everybody in here, if you want to donate to the channel as well, it's Cash App for all donations. Cash App Mikey T Movie. I'm going to put it in the chat. If anybody wants to donate to the channel, that would be appreciated. The Tube U17 says, I like this guy. Keep up, bro. I hope you get 1 billion views. That's the goal, man. That's the goal, man. You know, I'm at over like 25 million views so far between my couple YouTube pages. You know what I mean? But the real goal is just to put out the best, most consistent hip-hop news. You know what I mean? I'm glad I got the opportunity to actually report about people like A.R. Rab. You know what I mean? I'm glad I got the opportunity to meet people like Dark Low. I'm glad I got the opportunity to meet and work with people like Gilly the Kid. You know, it's given me a lot of options in my career. But in just 6 minutes, guys, I'm dropping another interview. The Bulletproof game kind of sucked, man. Prolific, the Bulletproof game sucked. What are you talking about? That game should have been more modeled after Grand Theft Auto. You should have been able to actually build up and accumulate money in 50 Cent's debut video game. You should have been able to go out and rob things and sell things and whatever you had to do to accumulate money. And then you should have used that money to go to the studio and start a rap career or formed any other business. That's what the 50 Cent video game should have been. MCK says, I liked it. I was like 14. I was like 14 too, man. I was like, how old are you actually? So I can tell you how old I actually was. I was like 14 too, but still I wanted a more realistic game of, you know what I mean? So it could show me how I could have lived in my life. You know what I mean? I wanted a game where you could earn money, put that money in the bank, and then use that money to go and, you know, go to the studio, use that money to start up a business. You're 30. All right. So that means I was 16 when the joint dropped. Yo, K Ferg, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Like, that's not my scene to be talking about that. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I talk about street hip hop. The people want me to come on here and they want me to talk about the most ratchet gangsta things on the internet. That's what they want from Mikey T. That's what they expect from Mikey T. They expect me to be talking stories about e-money bags. They expect me to be talking real street gritty stories. You know what I mean? That's what I'm on here to do. MCK says, report card radio. You think the game will sign back with the unit, or is that just a gimmick to tease the fans? I haven't heard nothing about that in a few years. I really haven't heard nothing about that in a few years, you guys, to be 100% honest. I haven't heard nothing about the game actually re-signing with 50 Cent in a few years. But I really don't think we're going to get a G Unit reunion part 3. Like, I really don't think that happened. Do you guys think we're going to get a third G Unit reunion? Like, I really honestly don't see that happening. Yeah, prolific. That's a dope. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, man. What do I think about Tupac? Man, Tupac is definitely the #1 rapper. I mean, unless that just sounds too cliche. Tupac, you know what I mean? Some of my friends consider Tupac to be the best rapper. I love Tupac's music, man. I loved his message. You know what I mean? I loved the grittiness of him. You know what I mean? Beating up movie directors. Like, he was crazy. I didn't get to witness Tupac though, you know? Like, I actually got into the game right after the passing of Big and Pac. You know, one of the first artists that I actually knew was X. GTA 6, lit. 50 still getting money without the unit, so that won't happen. No G Unit Part 3 reunion, Jeff says. Tupac is the GOAT. You're right. You're right, MCK. Everybody in here, guys, do me a favor, you guys. Support the channel. Support the channel in a simple way. Cash App donation. PayPal donation. It's Cash App Mikey T Movie. You guys got to understand, I'm not these other guys out there. They have a big studio. They have an OnlyFans page with their girlfriend. You know what I mean? I'm the dude who's getting it out the mud. I'm the guy who's, you know what I mean, that is coming here on a daily basis to give the people what they want, unfiltered. So if you guys would like to support the channel, donate by Cash App, Mikey T Movie. If you want to support the channel in another way, just go on and watch my next interview that's dropping in 5 minutes. My exclusive interview with I-20 is dropping in 5 minutes. I'm putting the link in the chat. If you guys would just click that link and tune over to that. The video is about to premiere in about 2 minutes. Sanders, I remember when I did the 40 Glock video. What 40 Glock video are you talking about? You talking about my interview with 40 Glock? Guys, I want everyone in here to go tap in on my I-20 interview. I would appreciate it. There's 120 people on there. If 100 people, if y'all log on to my interview with I-20, I'd really appreciate that, you guys. It just inspires me to put out more content for y'all. Report Card Radio, I remember hearing that song a lot back then. Prolific. Most lit people like you go live and don't talk until they get super chats. It's super corny and weird. Facts, man, but I'm not like other people. Guys, tap into my interview with I-20 right now. I'd appreciate it. Link is in the description. Link is right in the chat. I salute y'all for tuning in tonight. I love y'all.